worry, I'll introduce you. Don't worry. Oh, hi, and welcome to Rumbo al Inglés. You're here with Alberto Alonso and the brilliant, charismatic, energetic, ambitious, multifaceted, stupendous, amazing Rachel of the River. Hello, Rachel. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Great, Raquel. I'm glad to be here. Ask me why I'm glad to be here.
Why are you glad to be here?
I'm glad to be here because I'm here with my favorite student. Well, actually, now I have a little bit of a problem, Raquel.
Oh, really?
Someone is jealous. Yeah, someone's pretty jealous. Ask me who's jealous.
Who's jealous?
This animal here to my left was starting to get jealous that I was giving you more attention than it. You understand? And now, remember when we had our piles and loads and heaps of things before? Well, this giraffe grew attached to me. And to be honest, I've grown attached to it too. But there's only one problem. I haven't named it yet. It doesn't have a name. Can you think of a good name, Raquel? What can we call this beautiful, charming, talented, okay? Are you jealous? Are you still jealous? What can we call this? Do you have a name for this giraffe?
Benji.
Benji. Okay, well, we're going to have you. We want you to call in or go to our website, and we want you to name the giraffe, okay? We're going to have you name the giraffe. I'm not convinced with the name Benji.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't know why. Ask me what it reminds me of.
Okay, what does it remind you of?
It reminds me of a dog's name. It reminds me, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm just strange. It could be.
I think you're a little bit strange.
I knew you were going to say that. Remember the points I gave you last time? I'm taking them away. I'm only going to take away 5.
That's not fair. I'm sorry, that's not fair. They're my points.
Do you know how we say in English? We have an expression for así es la vida. Now we say the French way, c'est la vie, right? But we have another way. Do you know how we say it?
Life is that way.
Okay, life is that way isn't very normal to say. So we have, let me give you a few. There's one called That's Life. It's a very common one. That's life. Así es la vida. It's the same. Okay, it's actually a great song. It's a really great song. That's life. Okay, but we have 2 other ways, which are very, very common and very native ways of saying it. Okay, and one way is, that's the way the ball bounces. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. Okay, have you heard this before, Raquel?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, there's always a first time for everything.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And there's another way. We have another way that we say, así es la vida. We say, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm sorry. Have you heard this one before?
No, I haven't either.
Don't you love, aren't you glad you came, Raquel? You learned so many things.
I am very glad I came today.
Okay. Now, I want you to write those down. If you didn't write those expressions down, do it now because I'm going to ask you in the next show. I'm telling you, I'm warning you, okay? Everything I tell you, write it down unless you have an excellent memory. And let's be honest, you have so many things to remember in your daily routine that it's difficult to remember everything. Isn't this true, Raquel?
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we're going to put the giraffe aside. Don't get jealous. We have to get started. We have a few things we need to introduce today, okay? Okay, here, I'm going to put you over here so you can take a look at everybody at home and they can see your beautiful face.
That's
too.
really cute.
Yeah, I know. A man playing with a doll. I think I need to see a doctor. This kind.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Give me a few years.
A few months.
I was thinking
of a few months.
Remember the other 5 points I gave you? You're losing. You see, you in the last class, you really figured out how to gain or how to earn points. But now you're learning how to lose points. A good way to get points. Compliment the teacher. Give the teacher things. That's a good way to get points. Remember what the teacher tells you is the number 1 way. And using it. That's the key. You can remember it all you want, but if you don't use it, what's the use? Remember this? No sirve de nada. How do we say this? This was from another class. How do you say that?
There is no point in.
Yeah, there's no point in studying it if you're not going to use it. There's no point in studying it if you're not going to use it. So study and then use it. All right? All right, very good. Well, you know how we always give recognition to someone here on the show, one of our creative team, our technical team, okay? And we've given, how many people have we mentioned so far? We mentioned Ivan. He's the 1, 2, 3 man. He's waving at me. Hi, Ivan. How are you? Okay. Ivan is always the one he's a very peaceful guy. He's always saying peace. And then he tells me I'm number 1, so I like Ivan. Ivan is on my good side, okay? Adriana. Adriana makes us look, well, not me, but she makes Raquel look very beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. It doesn't matter how much. You can put loads and loads and tons of makeup on me. I still don't look good. Yeah, I know. Okay. But we also mentioned, who else? Bea, the beautiful graphics that we have. That's Bea. But now we have another man, a very oh, wait, we forgot the very, very important Maria. Maria does everything. Maria, you name it, she does it. Okay, don't get carried away. Don't get any ideas. But anything in reason, obviously. Okay, but there's another guy we haven't mentioned yet. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I know who you're talking about.
Who am I talking about?
You are talking about Juan.
Juan. Juan 2, 3. That's right. We're talking about the man with the plan. The man behind the other man. That's Juan. He's the director. He's calling the shots. He's running the show. What do these expressions mean, Raquel?
Running the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's in charge.
Yeah, he's in charge. He's in charge. To call the shots or to run the show is llevar la voz cantante. Do you run the show in your house? Don't lie. If you're the man, don't lie. Your wife runs the show. Don't lie to us. You can say it as many times as you want. Your wife calls the shots. Your wife runs the show. Isn't that right, wives? Of course. You let them think they're running the show. Isn't that the trick, Raquel?
I don't agree with you.
You don't? Tell me. Tell me your view on this.
Because here, I am the woman, but you run the class.
Well, but there's a very specific reason for that. Why am I running the show here? Why?
Because you are the native speaker.
Exactly. I have an advantage over you that I speak this language perfectly. That's the only reason. I'm not smarter than you. I don't think I am. I think, look at all the adjectives I give you.
I don't think you're this smart.
Thanks a lot. Okay. You can take away another 5 points there.
Sorry, I love you too.
No, I don't, no. Forget it, okay? All right, well, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to get started, okay? Tell me to tell you what we're going to look at today.
Tell me what we're going to look at today.
Okay, we're going to look at a lot of different things, okay? But we're going to start with por eso. Por eso, okay? Now, how do you say por eso in English? Por eso vine, por eso tomé precauciones. Por eso, how do you say this?
For that.
Did you say for that? I hope you didn't, because if you said for that, take away all the points I've ever given you and start from scratch. Empezar desde cero. Start from scratch. Because we never, ever say for that. Por eso. We never, ever say this. So if you use this or have used it, take it out of your vocabulary. Take it out of there because it's not necessary. We say, that's why. I don't mean guay chulo. That's why. Que guay. I'm talking about that's why. That's why. That's why I came. Por eso vine. That's why I work here. Por eso trabajo aquí. Okay? That's why. That's why. But for that, get rid of it. We don't need it. You don't need that in your vocabulary. So if you got it in there, delete it, erase it, do whatever you have to do because you don't need it. It doesn't exist. Just like Santa Claus. No, I'm kidding. Santa Claus exists. Santa Claus exists. And the Tooth Fairy. But for that doesn't. Okay. All right, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's practice a few translations with this structure. Okay, are you ready? Good. I'm glad. Here we go. Por eso no te llamé.
That's why I didn't call you.
Okay, that's why I didn't call you. That's why I didn't call you. Good, okay. Por eso se quedaron sin oxígeno.
That's why they ran out of oxygen.
Yes, very good pronunciation. That's why they ran out of oxygen. Okay, to run out of. This is a very good phrasal verb that you use. To run out of is agotar algo. Okay, does your phone run out of battery very easily?
Not very easily, but every 4 or 5 days.
Okay, ask me how long it takes for my phone to run out of battery.
How long does your phone take to run out of battery?
Right. How long does it take, your phone, right? So it is always the subject with cuánto se tarda. How long does it take, whatever, to whatever verb? Give it to me one more time.
Okay. How long does it take your phone to run out of battery?
It takes my phone about 10 minutes of speaking to run out of battery. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about my phone because I'm not very happy with it right now, okay? Yeah, I'm glad I bought that phone. Back to our sarcasm. Did you catch my sarcasm there?
I did.
Yeah, I'm really glad I bought the phone. No, but the good news, ask me what the good news is.
What's the good news?
Yes, that's the first time you've asked me that correctly. What
you.
is the good news? What do you want to know?
I want to know what the good news is.
10 points. 10
Thank you.
points for that.
10 more
Okay,
points.
the good news is I didn't pay anything for the phone. It was a gift. It was a
Okay.
gift. So this is why I can't really complain about it. Okay, here's another one. Let's try another one, okay? Por eso llegamos tarde.
That's why we were late.
Okay, that's why we were late. That's why we were late. Okay, now what is a phrasal verb for presentarse? Por eso nos presentamos tarde. How would you say this? Do you know? Okay,
No.
that's why we showed up late. To show up is presentarse. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for showing up. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for, yeah, you too, don't worry. Thanks for showing up. Yeah. We're really glad you came. Okay, here we go, all right? Por eso llegamos tarde, we said. Okay, here's another one. Por eso frenó de repente el tren.
That's why the train stopped suddenly.
Okay, stopped is good, but there's another word. How do you say un freno? O el freno.
A break.
A break. So what is the verb?
Okay, that's why the train braked
Yeah.
suddenly.
Exactly. That's why the train braked suddenly. Okay, that's why. Not for that. Remember, we're getting rid of for that and we're putting in that's why. Get why. That's why. Okay. All right, very good. Por eso tuvimos que hacer venir al fontanero. Remember this word, the B is silent. You remember we had a problem with this word in the past.
Yes.
Remember. Go.
That's why we had to call the plumber.
Yeah, that's why we had to call the plumber. The plumber. The B is silent. Okay.
Plumber.
The plumber. The plumber. Okay, very good. Okay, now another way. Can we say that's the reason why? Can we say this?
That's the reason why.
Is this acceptable in English? Is this?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
Okay, yes, we can.
Good. I was trying to fool you with my negative face. I was like, can we really? Yes. You can say that's the reason why. That's another way to say that's why. But which one do we use most, Raquel?
That's why.
Yeah. And why do we use that's why more? I told you the other day, when in doubt, what do? Take the shorter one. Take the one with fewer
as
syllables.
always,
We're
yeah.
lazy. We're lazy. We usually say, if we can say it in 2 syllables instead of 10, we will. We will. We like to ir al grano. How do you say it?
Go to the point.
We like to go to the point. And just for going to the point, I'm going to give you 10 points. And you too. If you got it right, give yourself 10 points too. Okay? All right. So let's try a few with that's the reason why. That's the reason why, okay? Por ese motivo decidimos cancelar la reunión. Now I'll give you 10 points if you give me cancelar as a phrasal verb.
That's the reason why we called off the meeting.
Called off the meeting. That's 10 points. Did you get that right? To call off the meeting is cancelar. That's the reason we called off the meeting. That's the reason we called off the meeting. Por ese motivo se cerró definitivamente la fábrica.
That's the reason why the factory closed down.
Very good. Give yourself another 10 points. Okay, now let me explain the difference between closed and closed down. Now, every day, stores close. They close at 10 o'clock, they close at 9 o'clock. Closed down is usually permanent, right? So this is a good way. Very good. I'm glad you knew that one. Very good. Did you know that one? I hope you did. And if you didn't, write it down. Write it down. Get a pen. You should have a pen in your hand right now and a paper. I want you to get a pen and paper every time the show starts, okay? And when you're not watching the show, I want you to go over the material because I'm going to ask you again. You can rest assured that I'm going to ask you again. All right, here we go. Another one. Por ese motivo, volcó el camión.
That's why the lorry
Overturned. That's why the lorry or the truck overturned. One more time, give it to me.
That's why the lorry overturned.
Yes. Okay, here's another one. Por ese motivo el gobierno subió El IRPF. Thank you, Ivan. 10 minutes, guys.
That's why the government increased the IRPF.
No. How do we say well, first, let's look at another phrasal verb. What does IRPF stand for? Stand for significa. We always use this with acronyms. USA stands for United States of America. VIP stands for very important person. What does IRPF stand for?
I don't know.
Isn't it Impuesto sobre la renta?
Yeah, but I can't remember.
You can't. This is your language. You have no excuse here. Do you know what it means? I'm sure you know what it stands for. Okay, in English, IRPF is income tax. Income is the money you make. Your income tax. Okay? Okay, income tax. All right, very good. All right, so give it to me one more time. Por ese motivo el gobierno subió el IRPF.
That's why the government increased the income tax.
That's right. Okay, that's why the government. Yeah. Isn't that great? Don't you love it? Aren't you
I
glad?
love it.
Aren't you glad the government increased the income tax?
I'm glad the government increased the income tax.
Yeah, she's got the sarcasm down perfectly now. Yeah, I'm really glad I came. You have to roll your eyes a little bit, all right, and almost breathe it out the corner of your mouth, right? Okay, we're going to take a look at another expression, Raquel.
Okay, another one.
How do you say, por qué demonios? And it's not why devils. I'm sorry, but it's not a literal translation. The same way that for that is not por eso. Okay? How do you say qué demonios or por qué demonios?
Why on earth?
Why on earth? Very good. Why on earth is por qué demonios. Also, another way, why in the world? Why in the world would you do that? Why on earth did you speak to her in that tone? Okay? This is por qué demonios. When you're really shocked, you can't understand why somebody did something. Okay? Let's take a look at a few of these. ¿Por qué demonios hiciste eso?
Why on earth did you do that?
I did that because I didn't have a choice. Raquel, I didn't have a choice.
Okay.
Okay, my students didn't study and I had to take away points. That's why on earth I did that. Okay? Let's try another one. ¿Por qué demonios no me lo dijiste?
Why on earth didn't you tell me?
Okay, I didn't tell you because I didn't think you'd want to know. Okay, I didn't think
But I
you'd
wanted to know.
Yeah, I know you wanted to know, but I couldn't tell you. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm sorry. That's the way the ball bounces. Okay. ¿Por qué demonios ella querría salir con alguien como él? That's what I ask myself all the time.
Why on earth does she want to go out with somebody like him?
Yes. Okay. Why on earth does she or would she? You can use would in this construction too. Why on earth would she or does she want to go out with someone like him? Why on earth, right? Okay, let's try the rest of them with why in the world.
Okay.
Okay, just so we practice both. Okay. ¿Por qué demonios se casó con ella?
Why in the world did he get married to her?
Yeah, why in the world did he get married to her? I don't know. I don't know why he got married to her, okay? ¿Por qué demonios dejaste de tocar el piano?
Why in the world did you stop playing piano?
Yes, that's 5 points, but I'm going to give you another 5 points if you can give me the phrasal verb for dejar.
Give up.
Okay, but now give it to me in a structure.
Why in the world did you give up playing piano?
Yes. Did you get that right? 5 points for you too. To give up. Dejar de. I gave up smoking many years ago. I'm not going to give up exercising. Do you remember the phrasal verb for exercise?
Take on exercises.
No. To work out. To work out. I work out 4 times a week. Do you work out? How often do you work out? Do you like working out? Do you think it's important to work out? This is how you learn phrasal verbs. By repeating them. Put them into a sentence. Then answer your own question. Then ask yourself another question. Answer that question until you've repeated it 10 times. Right? Or with your teacher you can do it. But you can do this at home, like I just did. Did you see what I just did?
Yes, I did.
I like to work out. I work out twice a week. Do you work out? How many times a week do you work out?
I don't work out at all.
See, we just said the word 6 times. That's how I know the phrasal verbs, because I've repeated them so many times. And that's how you're going to learn them too. All right? I tell you, don't get frustrated. Just practice them. Right? Okay? The same with any other verb. Before you knew the meaning, it was a strange word. Right?
Yes.
Come, go, take. These were all strange words before you knew them. Okay, here's another one. ¿Por qué demonios no intentaron hacer algo al respecto?
Why in the world didn't they try to do something about it?
Why in the world didn't they try to do something about it? Okay? And here's another one. ¿Por qué demonios no avisaste a las autoridades?
Why in the world didn't you tell the authorities?
The authorities. Now, what is another way to say avisar? Avísame. How do you say?
Let somebody know.
To let somebody know. Let me know as soon as you have an answer. What's another way to say this? Very native way to say avísame, manténme al día.
Inform. No.
It wouldn't be very native to say that. It wouldn't be very normal. We say, very common, keep me posted. Keep me posted. Have you heard this before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you used it before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Tell me a typical place where you would use keep me posted.
At work.
At work. So give it to me in context. Give it to me in the context.
When things change at work, but you are in another department, in another branch, in another office, so people keep you posted.
Keep you posted. Sure, sure. Also a follow-up, seguimiento. When you're following up on a client, keep me posted, when you make a decision. Keep me posted as to when you want to begin classes. All right? All right, very good. All right, now we looked at, how do we say mogollones or mucho de?
Piles and piles,
And?
tons and tons,
And?
heaps and heaps,
And? Magazines?
stacks and stacks,
Yeah, she even has the gesture, stacks and stacks. What is this gesture?
loads and loads.
Loads and loads, heaps and heaps, stacks and stacks. I got another one for you. How do you say una docena?
A dozen.
A dozen. Dozens and dozens.
Dozens.
Dozens and dozens of people there. Okay, that means a lot too. But let's take a look at this. Let's look at this dozen, okay? When you buy eggs, do you usually buy a dozen or a half a dozen eggs?
Half. I think half of.
Half a dozen.
Yeah.
You buy a half a... Give me one more time. How many eggs do you
I
buy?
buy half of a dozen.
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen. One more time.
I buy half a dozen.
Okay, how many eggs do you buy when you go shopping? Do you buy a dozen or do you buy a half a dozen eggs? Okay, I buy a dozen. I'm a big eater. Yeah, I can eat a lot. Okay, I can eat my weight. All right, all right. Okay, so dozens. Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you, how do you say now if you have dos y medio? How do you say this?
2.5.
Okay, with the
Dozens.
No, I caught you. Remember how I always push you into a trap? When you put a number before it, dozen stays singular. I have 2 dozen eggs in my refrigerator. Why? 2 dozen is the adjective, describes the amount. I have 2 dozen, whatever. I have 2 dozen eggs in my refrigerator, okay? I have dozens and dozens of friends, right? Okay, very good. Do you have dozens and dozens of friends?
Yes, I do.
Okay, peace to you too. Peace and love, okay? All right, so dozens and dozens, okay? Dozens. See, you hear the pronunciation? See how the Z vibrates? Dozens. Give it to me.
Dozens.
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 Dozens and dozens. Okay, how do you say un par de docenas?
A pair.
No, a couple dozen.
A couple dozens.
A couple. When you say a couple, it usually means 2. A couple dozen. What about 3?
3 couples.
No.
What do you
That's
mean?
3 parejas. 3 dozen or a few. Usually we use a couple with 2, and a few is usually 3 or a few more, a little more than 3. Okay, so we say I have a couple people are coming, about 2. A few people, you're usually insinuating maybe about 3 people are coming. Now, we were talking about eggs, and I just wanted to bring up a phrasal verb that we looked at the other way. How do you say incitar a alguien que haga algo? For 20 points. Tell me.
To egg somebody on.
Yes, to egg somebody on. Did you remember that one? You did. Give yourself 20 points. I hope you're keeping track of your points because you're going to be able to cash them in at the end. Raquel is going to buy you all presents at the end of the course. Isn't that true, Raquel?
That's true, Alberto.
You heard it. You heard her say it. Well, guess what? I got the symbol. Yeah, Captain Hook. No. I got the symbol. That means 30 seconds. You know what that means? We don't want to, but we have to say goodbye. I know you're sad. I know, but you can catch us again on the next program. Try and study as much as possible between then and now. It's the only way to improve. We are glad you came, and we're not being sarcastic. Thank you so much, Raquel. Thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Alberto.
Okay? And thank you so much from home. We hope you're keeping up with your English. Thanks again. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.